Hey guys, my name is Nicole S. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where I make budget friendly videos of makeup and clothing and give makeup tips to beginners. If it is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and join my family. I know it's been a long time since I put out a video. I've been MIA for like 6 months now or 5 months, I don't know. It's been so long, and I'm back now, and I hope I'll be consistent and I will continue to bring out more videos for you guys in a consistent way. So yeah, in today's video, as you've seen from the title, we are gonna be talking about makeup brushes, or what makeup brushes to get as a beginner, and this is my second episode of my makeup for beginners series. So if you're interested in seeing what this video entails, continue watching. Okay, so how I'm planning on doing this video is by listing brushes in a way that I use them in my makeup routine. So like how I start with my brows, that's the brush I'm gonna name first, and then so on and so on. So yeah, the first brush is going to be your brow brush, which is a spoolie and an angled brow brush. It's a 2-in-1 brush. This is a brush you use for your brows. If you are a person who use a pomade, this is what you would use, or like a brow powder, this is what you would use to angle your brow, not angle, to carve out your brows or fill in your brows. If you do not use a pencil, I per se use a pencil to fill in my brows. So but if you use a brow powder or a pomade, you can definitely use this brush. This is what it's made for. And then the spoolie end, obviously you're gonna use to brush out your brows and make sure that they are the same way you want them to be, and they're laying how you want them to be. Like how my brows are now, I used this spoolie to do that, and it helps you to diffuse the product. If you've used like too much pencil, or you've shaded in too much with your brow powder or your pencil, you can just use your spoolie to diffuse the powder or the pencil or the shade, and then it just looks better by doing that. So yeah, that's the first brush you would definitely need as a beginner. This is a must-have on your equipments or your makeup routine. So yeah, would be the concealer brush. Obviously, after carving out your brows, you're gonna want to conceal your brows and make sure that they are clean looking and they are perfectly looking. So you're gonna need your concealer brush to do that. Also, I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna list every brush that I'm talking about in this video down in my description, because some of them I do not remember where I got them, and some of them I bought as a pack and not like singular brushes. So I have to link them and name them in my description if you're interested in getting any of these brushes. So yeah, as I was saying, the concealer brush, obviously you're gonna use this to conceal under your brows and on top of your brows. So yeah, a concealer brush is very important. I know that there are some larger concealer brushes, but I think a smaller brush, I believe a smaller brush is perfect, especially if you're a beginner, for concealing, because it just sticks to the places you want it to stick to. It does not go on to places you don't want the concealer to be in. So yeah, a smaller concealer brush as a beginner is definitely a way to go. So yeah, that's it for the second brush. Now we're going to the third brush, which is your blending brush. It's a fluffy blending brush. It's rounded and fluffy. This you're gonna use for your eyeshadow or for your crease shadows. Like you want to blend out your shadows, you're gonna need a fluffy blending brush, so that you can diffuse your shadows so that they look more seamless, more blended. I know some of you would like to use like your flat shadow brushes to just apply your brushes, and that is just not the way to go. You definitely need your fluffy blending brush so that your shadows look more seamless and they look more blended. So get yourself a fluffy blending brush, and this one I got from Wet n Wild. I'll link everything down below. So yeah, this one is a singular brush. I did not get in a set, so you definitely need your blood can I speak, your fluffy blending brush. So yes, now the second, I'm now in the eyes department, like your shadow brushes, the brushes that I use for my eyes. So yes, and then second brush you're gonna need is another like smaller fluffy blending brush. See, they're almost similar, but this one is a smaller version of this one. So this one is perfect when you want to just like concentrate your shadow on your crease and you don't want to bring it down to your lid and you don't want it to go up to your brow bone. You're gonna need a smaller brush for that, so it has better control and your shadow just doesn't go where it's not needed. So yeah, you're gonna need a very small blending fluffy brush. Similar brushes, smaller, bigger, so that you can control your shadows better with brushes. I mean, brushes do look similar and they probably do the same things, but sometimes it just depends on how big or small they are in what you want to do. So yeah, a smaller fluffy blending brush is needed and a bigger fluffy blending brush is also needed. So, and another small fluffy brush is also needed. A version of the fluffier brushes, but this one is almost like a flat tip, but then it's fluffier. So this one I love for precise application of your shadows in the crease, or when I just want to smoke out my outer shadows. I use this brush because it's so small and it just sticks to where you want it to stick. It doesn't go to places where it's not needed. Perfect brush. I love this brush. It's definitely right. So now the last brush you're gonna need for your shadow or your eyes section of your makeup, you're gonna need a flat eyeshadow brush. This brush is perfect for your lid shadows. Like, see what I have on right now, I have like this orange going on my crease and then this yellow. You are gonna need a flat brush to apply those shadows. It's either the mattes or the shimmery shadows that you're gonna need on your lid. You need this flat eyeshadow brush. It just picks on the shadow perfectly. It does not diffuse it, it does not blend it out, it just keeps it to its shade and then it just picks it on your lid perfectly. So you're gonna need your flat shade brush, your eyeshadow brush. So yeah, you can also get a version of this brush, like a smaller one, so that, see, they're similar but this one is smaller, so that when you just want to stick to your original lid, that's where you can just use this brush. It's small, it's the small version of this one. So yeah, definitely needed in your routine. Okay, so now we are moving to the base or the face portion of your routine or brushes. The brush you're definitely gonna need, obviously, is your foundation brush. Definitely needed. It's either a brush or your sponge or blender. You're definitely gonna need this, because how else are you gonna apply your foundation if you do not have a brush? Definitely needed. It's very important to your routine. So a foundation brush that is flat like this, fluffy but also a bit dense, is perfect, so you can apply your foundation perfectly. You just can stipple it perfectly. It's very needed. So if you think like a brush is gonna be too complicated for you, you can definitely get yourself a blending sponge. But yeah, a brush, a foundation brush, it will look like this. It'll be a flat brush, which will be like, see, it's fluffy but not too fluffy to the point where your foundation is just not gonna blend perfectly. It needs to be fluffy and dense at the same time, so just a perfect mixture of the both, so that you can just blend out your foundation perfectly. I know these brushes look a little small, but I feel like smaller brushes are perfect, especially if you're a beginner, so that they remain in the place that you want your product to remain in. So yeah, your foundation brush, or this type of foundation brush, it's also possible you can get this one too. This one you just apply your foundation and then you just blend it in like this. But this one I feel like it's just a bit complicated, especially if you're a beginner, because it just leaves streaks of your foundation in your face. But either way, this is a foundation brush, this is a foundation brush, they do the same work. But this one is gonna need you to blend up with your sponge afterwards. This one is perfectly, it just blends out everything perfectly on its own. So yeah, two different brushes that do the same thing. Both foundation brushes, they do the very same job. So if you see this brush, don't be confused and be like, whoa, what is this brush supposed to be? It's a foundation brush, so is this one. So yeah, foundation brushes, you can get these ones. Okay, so next on the brush section, obviously I will apply my blush after applying concealer. Obviously concealer, you can use it with your container. If your container has like a wand that you can apply with, that's perfect. And then you're gonna use your blending brush to blend that in. No, not your blending brush, I mean your sponge to blend that in. Or you can definitely use your concealer brush to apply your concealer under your eyes. Same thing, does the same job. It's a concealer brush for a reason, and it's perfect because it's small. You can just perfect. Okay, so yeah, the next brush I'm gonna talk about is definitely your blush brush. This blush blush brush, this brush I use for liquid blushes, which are my lipsticks. Essentially I use my lipsticks as liquid blushes because I seem to not be able to find blushes that are liquid in my drugstore, makeup store, in my mall. So if you guys are able to find yourself a liquid blush, cool. I use this blush brush to apply it. You can also use it for your powder, and I love that it's very small because I want my brush to remain on this portion of my face. I do not want it to go down or upwards, so this brush is very perfect for that because it's smaller. It's like this, a rounder version of your fluffy bigger brushes. So yeah, this brush used for your not foundation for your blushes. So yeah, this is your blush brush. Next up on the brushes, I have my contour brush, your contour or bronze blush, whatever you use. I seem to not be able to speak today. I don't know what is wrong. Okay, so let's continue. This is your flat contour brush. I love the flatness of the brush because it means it's easier to go in like this to contour my cheeks. Obviously since it's like angled like this, it's gonna make it easier for you to just like follow the lines of your cheekbones so that you can create your contour. I love that about this, especially if you're a beginner. It's gonna be so easy to do your contour. I know contour as a beginner could be very scary, but like if you have a brush that makes it easier, great. So yeah, that's your contour brush. Okay, next up I have my powdering portion of the thing, of the makeup routine. So your brushes are gonna be like this. These are your fluffy powder brushes. This one is a more denser type brush. I love this one. I prefer a not too dense, not too fluffy brush for my powder because it just means it's essentially gonna blend in perfectly with my foundation and set my makeup in place. I prefer this one. And then this one is fluffy, like really fluffy. It's not dense. I love this one for my blushes. I use this one for my blushes because then it means the blush is just gonna smoothly blend into the face. So these are essentially your powder brushes, but I use this one for my blush, and then this one is perfect for your over face powder. because it's nicely dense and it's nicely fluffy. It's just in between. It makes it perfectly for you to blend out your powder. So yeah, I don't know, is there a brush I'm forgetting? I don't think there is. These are the essential brushes you need as a beginner in the makeup journey. So I'm pretty sure these are the brushes that you're definitely gonna need. And the last brush is definitely your fan highlight brush. Obviously, as a beginner, highlight is very scary. Even now, I do not use highlight anymore. So yeah, if you are interested in just applying highlight, you're gonna need a fan highlight brush. But make sure you get a smaller one, because the bigger one is just gonna make your highlighter go everywhere, and you do not want that. So get a smaller version of this brush. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for the makeup brushes portion of my makeup for beginners series. And if I left out any brush, I'll link it up below, but I'm pretty sure these are the brushes. These are essential brushes you're gonna need as a beginner. I'm not doing like the brushes that I have in my collection or whatever the type. These are brushes you are definitely gonna need as a beginner when you're trying to start out doing makeup. These are the brushes that are not gonna make your routine very easy, because if you do not have any of these brushes in your routine, then it's gonna be very difficult for you to do your makeup. So yeah, these are the brushes you are essentially gonna need, and I hope this video was very helpful for you guys. I know it's very short, but I hope it's informative for you to be able to figure out where you want to start out in this journey for your makeup. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I hope it was very helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. And please do not forget to subscribe. It's free, does not cost you any money. So please hit that subscribe button, show your girl some love, and do comment down on the comment section, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.